What up, spiritual seekers, truth seekers? Welcome to my spirit school. I'm going to start it that way because that's what it is. You're learning when you come and listen to my episodes or follow me on my social media. So that's how we're going to pop off these episodes every time I begin. The Zen Gen Spirit School, okay? But welcome. I know. It's been a minute, but I'm here now, right? That's what matters. But it's only because I've been really putting out a lot of content on all my different platforms, social media and all that. So, it takes a lot of time and effort to do that as well. So, but I am not neglecting my podcast. So I know some of y'all, want something to listen to as you're going about your day or in the mornings or wherever, even at night. So I'm going to do better there. Okay, I'm going to do better. But for this episode, I wanted to focus more. Well, I don't think I've ever really put focus on this before. I've spoken about it lightly on this podcast, but energy healing. I feel like the last time I spoke about energy healing was on my birthday episode, how I got the certification for Reiki. Well, a lot's been happening since then. Yo, a lot. And, I work with a company and we do energy healing for this company. And y'all, the experiences and the feedback, which I'm going to share in this episode of what I've been feeling and picking up as I'm doing the energy healing on people. And it's the most profound, incredible, and heartwarming, touching feelings I've felt since doing work. And that says a lot. And I would say work in general because I'm going to keep it real. I feel the most fulfilled right now in my career. And I know I've been, if y'all follow me, maybe from back in the day or to our present day, been in the music industry for about 17 years now. And, I've put a lot of care and effort and hard work and dedication into building my career in the music, entertainment, radio world. And, I've accomplished many things during my career, and I'm very proud of it. Don't get me wrong, super proud of it. But a lot of it was self-serving. You know what I mean? Maybe in a slightly egotistical way. Yes, because I did also have to work through those moments, and you can't help but be that way in that field, to be real. You're always competitive. You're trying to be, the best at what you do. I've said this before. For me, it was more about creating. But, you live in a world. If you got a radio show, if you're doing shit, you know what I'm saying? You got to make sure the ratings are good and all the stuff. So you're kind of forced into being a competitor. And ain't nothing wrong with a competition if, you into that. But for me, it was just more about creating. But I say that to say the career field I'm in now. And wait, real quick. That's not to say everything I did was out of ego. Y'all know that. If y'all fuck with me, you know who I am and what I'm about. It's always been about the people. My most joyful moments was after events where if I had to make an appearance or if I spoke, if I was talking there, whatever. The people that would come and talk to me and afterwards ask for words of encouragement, advice, inspiration, shit like that. I love giving back. That's just naturally what I love to do. And I say that because right now, as I'm on my healer journey, which is truly my calling, soul's mission. I've already been shown that, told that by my spirit team and my higher self. So, this is what I'm meant to do and share the knowledge, because you're not only healing, excuse me, you're not only healing through physical things, like with my energy, with energy, sound, which is the same thing, vibrations, frequencies. but also through words. People don't realize this, but words heal. Words have power. They carry vibration. Everything you say carries a vibration. And so, because of that, I guess I would say that's why I really enjoyed speaking to people. It's always been about the people. Even when my radio show at the block, it was always about the people. You know what I'm saying? That is why this podcast was birthed, because of the feedback from y'all when I was doing the Zen Gen Words of Wisdom segment on my show. And so I say that to say what I'm doing now with this healing work is the most fulfilling ever. Because, when you see how much you can affect someone's life and help change their life and shift their perspective and shift their energy so that they can have this new outlook in life, it's just, there really is nothing more fulfilling than to see someone else's light, that light switch in them be turned on. And it's been incredible to see that in people. Because, a lot of souls, a lot of spirits, they are walking this life right now very unhappy, very imbalanced. They're not grounded. There's just a million things tugging at their spirit. And a lot of people need help getting through that. And I put this recently on my TikTok because, I be posting videos of me doing my energy healing work, and somebody left a message. Excuse me, they don't want me to say this. My throat chakra keeps on freaking getting all fuzzy. Nah, bitch, we gonna talk about this because they don't want you to know that you can heal yourself. You sure can. You can self-heal. And you could do that. I'm getting chills. Through energy. Because we're energetic beings. We're made of cells. You break open the cells. We're atoms. It's atoms. You break open the atoms. It's pure energy. This is why you are so affected by what's going on around you. Because everything carries a vibration. And your body's naturally going to react to energy. So this woman left a comment. She was like, people pay their hard-earned money to lay on the floor, listen to music as they're getting the energy healing. And, I had to G-check her because you ain't going to do that. You ain't going to try to play the work that I do, especially if I'm helping people out here. And it's actually making a difference in their life because this shit is real. So I mentioned that because people naturally think when they hear the word therapy, I feel like there's two things that come to mind. Physical therapy, if you have an injury, right? You're trying to get your body back to its original form the best that you can. Or therapy like with a psychologist. You're laying on a couch and you're sharing your thoughts, your feelings, what you've been through. And this psychologist is, talking you through it. But no one ever talks about, because they don't want you to know this, that energy healing is a form of therapy. Think of energy healing as physical therapy, right? You know how you go there to get your body tuned up or whatever? It's the same thing with energy. Now, it depends on who you go to get the work done with. Some people have different forms of energy healing, right? What they do. What I do is different. That ain't to flex. That ain't to say I'm better than anyone. Absolutely not. And if you're thinking that, you need to heal those parts of you. I say that because the healing work, the energy healing that I'm doing has been elevated. And this happened because I received a visitation from a very divine being who I've actually worked with in many, many past lives. And I'm getting chills. Y'all, first off, this is how I'm telling y'all. Past lives and everything like that. Reincarnation is so true. If you listen to this episode, or you're on like, what are we, episode 20 some shit, you probably already know that it is true. But I'm saying it's more confirmation to me. If you want to hear some proof, it's just that it's because about 5 years ago, so 4 or 5 years ago, I had my past life reading done by a shaman from the Hopi Native American tribe. And in that one of the past lives, she told me where my star origins were. So that already makes sense why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then secondly, she told me about how many incarnations I had during ancient Egypt, where I was an initiate for one of the divine beings. And come to find out, this divine being, one of her true, I don't want to say assets, because this is just her I don't even want to say gift, her powers, thank you, is energy healing on a very, very deep, deep level. Now, if you go to energy healers, what they do is, because your body is made of energy, right? The reason why, okay, I'm going back to the therapist thing. During my energy healing sessions now, I've come across people, for when I work with this company, I've come across people who've said that, they gave up on therapy, like laying on a couch talking to someone, because they just felt like there was nothing more to say. Every week they go in, they talk, and they share, but it's not doing anything for them. Like they don't feel any changes internally from it. It's like they just go to have a session to vent. And people have different tools and modalities that works for them. Now, if you're one of these people who are going through therapy and you've gotten to that point where you can't talk no more, it's because it's a more energetic reason, because your body's made of energy, right? So especially emotional blockages, which ultimately affects physical issues, ailments, there is an energetic blockage going on in your energy flow. And let's bring it back to these people who tell me that they've left therapy and turned to energy healing and felt such a difference, because that is the reason. And yes, you can talk and share as much as you can, but the difference is, if you're not doing and making physical changes first off after you go to therapy within your life to make yourself better, right? Or emotional changes, it's no point. You're just going somewhere to vent, let off steam, and then you're back to your old shit again. Like, there's absolutely no point. You're going to heal. You're going there to heal. But energetically, your body could just be out of freaking imbalance, because every emotional trauma, any emotions, because emotions are a vibration. Vibrations is the same thing as energy. It's going to cause a block in that flow. Think of it like a water, like a river or ocean, whatever flowing, and all of a sudden like a dam's put up there. That's like what it is. You are the water, you're the ocean. That's your energy. These emotional blockages from this life and past lives too, blocking your energy flow. And that's why you're not feeling changed after you're talking to someone or whoever. it can boil down to pure energy. Some people are able to self-heal like I did. I worked through my emotional issues. But some people need that assistance. And energy healing makes a difference. Sound healing as well, because I'm grouping that into that, because I also do sound healing with the sound bowls. And I'm gonna go through that in a second, so y'all could hear the different tones and vibrations that can literally put your energy back into balance. So let me go to sound healing after this, because I'm going to end with sound healing. But I'm talking about energy healing first, because not from only what I learned about my past life. And oh yes, I was talking about how my energy healing is different for what I do. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm just speaking for me. So when I was visited by the divine being in my dream state a couple months ago, I was like, oh, okay, all right, about to be really, really elevated here. And I was immediately taken back to my past lives when I've done this for people during that time. Ooh, I'm getting chills. And so the energy healing that I'm doing now, it doesn't only balance your energy presently on a physical level. You know, I've been talking about the blockages, but on a deep emotional level, on a deep spiritual level, and replacing it with the willpower, the fire, the confidence to get through life and to help you align with your true self. Energy can do that. And when you have true divine beings of the light helping you do that for said person, it's life-changing. And I know that it was happening because the proof was in the people I was working on. After I got that visitation, and I knew it was time, when I started working on these people and afterwards, and they said that they'd feel the energy pouring through them. Their words, not mine. And that's when I knew that, not that I didn't believe it, but, you know, my energy healing work is different. And that's so fulfilling to me to know that. And outside just me, energy healing itself for people that have come into, you know, the company I work with, and first timers too. I've seen first timers that don't know nothing about energy healing, that wanted to try something different. People who were like in church who said that they wanted more, or church was limiting them. When they'd lay down, there's not much that and mind you, we're not there, talking up a storm in the beginning, try to sell them a dream, like, hey, this is that. We just let the energy healing speak for itself. They come in, we tell them what's going to happen, they lay down, and boom, they get the healing. We'll talk after, but prior to that, nah. So these first times that will come in, I would see them fucking crying, bawling, tears streaming down their face as excuse me, because I'm feeling it, as they're getting this healing. And the reason why they're feeling that way, people release energy differently. Oof, I'm getting chills. That release, those tears, that emotion that's been stuck and blocked in their system, is being released, like that dam I was talking about earlier. The dam is being lifted so that energy could flow. And there ain't nothing to explain that but energy. Energy is coming in to clear them and to put them in flow, which is divine flow, which is flow with the universe, source, creator, whatever word you want to use. It works, y'all. I'm telling you. But, I'm here just to pass on information from experience. Y'all make what you want to make from it. You do what you want to do from it. And despite what people think, social media, who believe that this is the devil's work, let me tell y'all something real quick. Trust me, I'm going to make a religious episode soon. We're going to get into that. But they don't want you to know about these different types of ways to heal yourself, because they want to keep you in the system of relying on medication, relying on physical things to keep that money churning. They want to keep you sick. They don't want you to know this. And they want you to be emotionally sick, keep you stuck in these low vibrational energies. Because that feeds, not anymore, because we've elevated now, but in the past, y'all know I talk about this, that low vibrational energy feeds these other beings, I'll say. So, energy healing is the real deal. I'm seeing it, the results firsthand. Not only from my personal experiences, from the feedback from the clients. That speaks volumes in itself. Again, we're not sitting there feeding them nothing. But when you have these people coming to you after the session and sharing what they're feeling and coming in weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, and they're sharing their updates and how they're changed and how they're feeling better and how all these things, it's incredible. Yes, and it helps with your physical ailments too, because it's all connected to emotion. Yeah, they don't want you to notice. What do most people with agendas do, right? They try to paint said thing as evil and to stay away from it. Nah, that's not the case, y'all. Because it works. And this is not a woo concept. It's scientific that we're made of energy. You know what I mean? And by the way, we already use energy. So I don't know what these people are talking about. Oh, I mentioned, okay. See, there's a reason why I mentioned that girl that left a comment. It's because you can't see it. Unfortunately, because people can't see the energy. Some people can, some people can't. But for those that can't see it, because they can't see something happening, they believe it's not working. Like with energy healing. But we use energy every day. Our phones, the Wi-Fi, satellites. If you go to the doctors, your x-rays. If you're in your car, listen to the radio, like I said, satellite. If there's anything I can say, it's the number one thing that people don't realize using energy is Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is energy. You can't see it, but you're connected to it. You know what I mean? It's the same shit. Anyway, we don't realize this. And then the final thing we'll talk about, another form of energy healing. It's all energy, but sound healing. Sound healing works wonders. It depends on what works for you. People are attracted to different types of healings. Some people can just receive the energy healing physically through the conduit, like myself, right? Which, by the way, if you're curious, when I have channeled this energy, boy, I put on my TikTok, but it feels like it just comes through my body, out through my hands, and my hands are always on fire after. There's some moments I have to put my hand, depending on how much energy I'm pulling in for how much this person needs it, yo. Sometimes I have to go cool my hands underneath fucking cold water, dead ass. But it's like, it's hot from the inside. It doesn't hurt, but it's hot from the inside out. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, that's the best way I can describe it. I also do sound healing as well. And the clients can also feel the vibration, the frequency, energy, all the same shit as I'm playing. And that's because sounds carry energy, vibration. Tones can balance out your energy flow too. And I was talking about this on my TikTok, and if you know who Joe Dispenza is, one of his students left a comment about sound healing, because I posted a video up saying that he used sound healing and positive thought to help cure him of his stage 3 cancer. Real shit, y'all. Might sound believable. Like, what? Yeah. Yes, y'all. Because again, our cells, the cells in our body are made of energy. And with the right tone and the right intention, you can balance out those cells. So I say that, so when I'm doing the sound healing, this is also just confirmation for me too. Because as I'm doing the sound healing, I'm playing on sound bowls. What I'm feeling is also energy coming through me, and my hands are just going, and whatever I'm being called to play, how I'm being called to play, by bringing the soundscape in for these people to help balance them out, to help clear them, to keep them at peace, all the things. There's vibration in the sounds. And after these sessions, and I'm very grateful, you know, I'm always getting complimented and thanked for the music, and also how being told that they feel like their bodies are waves, that their bodies, their energy is just moving like a current during these sessions, sound healing sessions. They're also receiving Reiki at the same time from my director, but I'm playing it, so it's a multitude of things too, but they're feeling that. This is what they're telling me from the music, and I know that to be true because I'm feeling it as I'm playing, and they're feeling it in return. And their bodies are reacting to it because of sound and vibration, the healing. Sound is used for many things other than healing. I'm just talking about healing right now, but even back in the day, during ancient times, sound was used to move and transport items, heavy items. This again is not woo. Go look up on YouTube, wherever. Go look up how sound, with the right frequencies at the same time, can literally lift an object. There's tons of experiments. You can go check it out. I know it seems so, what impossible, because our minds have been programmed to not know these things. But again, we're very, very, we're cavemen, and technology in comparison to the rest of the universe right now, in this universe in particular. This is why it's such a very monumental time on this planet, because the awakening is happening. This has never happened before, okay? Ever. For Gaia, for us here. So sound can move and levitate objects. This is how a lot of structures were built back in the day, ancient times, and also help from our cosmic brothers and sisters. These are things they don't want you to know. right? Because without sound, if they know that you know that sound can lift items and objects, you know how many people would be out of money? Shh. Yo. In any case, with the right tone, I'm going back to this person that God bless, they're cancer free. With the right tone and the right intention and focus, you can mitigate and transmute the energy within the cell and get it back to its balanced state. I'm going to play each tone so y'all could hear, because each tone that I play, it's the same thing with the sound bowls, but each tone is related to a chakra in your body. Don't know if I've ever spoken about chakras on my podcast, but quickly, I put it on my social media. But chakras are energy systems within your body. And each chakra is associated with specific emotions or sicknesses, ailments. And each tone that I'm about to play is related to each part of that chakra. If you focus on each area, wherever you're feeling most blockages in, you can listen to that tone and set the intention for the cells to transmute, and it will work. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work overnight, but if you do it daily, with that intention, with just intention too. Our power of thought, like the guy who was able to cure himself, positive thought is a vibration in itself. You are more powerful than you know. You have that ability to self-heal. They want to keep people on these medications to keep that fucking cash money coming in. By taking more medications, now you need the medications to keep going. When our bodies are able to heal on our own with intention and tones and energies, y'all, you can do it. I mean, this Joe Dispenza student speaks there. That's proof in itself. He was able to cure himself of stage 3 cancer. But these are the things they don't want you to know or want you to believe it's impossible. It's bullshit. Nah, it's not. It really isn't. I'm actually starting to play around with tones too, and I had a massive headache. And when I was doing an experiment on one of my TikToks, that shit was helping my fucking migraine. I was having a bad headache. Not a migraine. I was having a massive headache. It felt really nice. So this is what we're going to do. And then I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go through each chakra tone. I'm going to play each one. And as I go on, I'll explain what each one does. Okay? Now, please keep in mind too, if you can't sit through these tones, because it can be difficult for some people, you can listen to you can listen to meditative music in that frequency too, whatever works for you. But I feel like the tone will hit it directly where it needs to go. Like it's like a zoom. A sure shot right smack in the middle of that energy that needs balancing. Not to say meditative music isn't good. It works. Because, it's a combination of other frequencies, right, to make the music. But if you're looking for like that direct target, I'm seeing a target in my mind's eye. Tones is the way to go. So we're going to go through each chakra right now, okay? The first one I'm going to play is the root chakra. So that's located like at the base of your spine, okay? And obviously it would have to do if you're having back pains, leg issues, knees, if you're constipated, if you're tired, if you have immune disorders, it helps with that. Now, in an emotional sense, it helps with fear, anxiety, insecurities. If you're not feeling balanced, if you're feeling disconnected, if you're not feeling safe in where you are in life, that can deal with money, that can deal with, your home, just safety in general. If you're not feeling stable or having issues with trusting. It's associated with the root chakra. Those emotions, just think about this really quick and maybe close your eyes and feel it. Maybe close your eyes while I'm doing this. When you think about root, you're thinking about, right, your roots, firm foundation, the roots in the ground, like from a tree, right? It's what keeps you like standing straight and tall. And as I go up and talk about each chakra, you're going to see how that applies with each chakra, how each emotional imbalance or physical ailment makes sense for that chakra. This is how chakras, energy centers work, whichever word you want to use. So let me play the root chakra. Close your eyes. Do you hear? Notice how strong and firm that tone is, right? Like again, foundation, standing on the ground, your feet planted into the ground. Forgot to mention too, as it's similar to ascension, as you go up each chakra tone, it's going to sound higher and higher and higher, high pitched, I mean. Same similar concept. Doesn't mean that one chakra tone is better than the other. It has nothing to do with that. It's just each tone, sound, frequency is associated with each of the energy centers, whichever one you're looking to heal. Okay? Ain't got nothing to do with worse or better. It's just the way it sounds. Meaning if it's more deeper sounding like what I just played, which is the root chakra, versus which you'll hear the difference once I start going up the chakras towards the crown chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra, it's going to sound a lot more high pitched. So that is the root chakra. Let me play the sacral chakra. Let me actually play the chakras first and explain what it's associated with after, and you'll be able then to connect it with the sound, okay? All right, here's the next chakra, the sacral chakra. That chakra is located below your navel, and it has to do with hip pain, pelvic pain, kidney, bladder problems, PMS, low libido, infertility, and the emotional imbalances that it has to do with is if you're having creativity blocks, if you have addictions or unhealthy attachments, if you're feeling shame or guilt around pleasure, if you're feeling emotionally numb or codependent, that tone will help with that. You feel how that's connected to these areas? I'm telling y'all. Let's go to the next one. Oh, and by the way, each of these tones do have a hertz. So let me just say the hertz really quick if you want to look it up. 396 hertz is the root chakra. What I just played was the sacral chakra. That's 417 hertz. Now let's move up to the solar plexus chakra. This is 528 hertz. Here it's starting to sound like it's going higher. You should be feeling it going up your body, each energy center as I'm going up right now, actually, because I'm feeling it. So the solar plexus chakra, what you just heard, has to do is the upper abdomen area, your stomach area. You should be feeling it there. That has to do with ulcers, if you're bloated, digestive issues, IBS. If you have blood sugar imbalances, that helps with that. You have liver or pancreas issues. Now, emotional imbalances with that is if you're feeling overly competitive, if you are having issues with control anger, being a perfectionist, if you have a hard time setting boundaries, that will help with it. Low self-esteem, confidence, willpower. Listening to that tone will help with that. Or meditative music at that frequency, like I said. All right. Now we're moving up to the heart chakra. This is 639 hertz. And clearly the heart chakra, you'll be feeling it in the center of your chest. All right. Here we go. The heart chakra frequency tone has to do with clearly heart conditions. If you're having lung issues or breathing issues, if you have like upper back pain or shoulder pain, listening to that frequency will help. Emotional imbalances that has to do with fearing being vulnerable, a lack of compassion or forgiveness, jealousy, heartbreak, grief, feeling closed off. And I'm going to talk about this because years ago when I went to a spiritualist to get my chakras balanced, my heart chakra kept on closing. And it makes sense because I have been through a lot of shit in my life. Real quick, your chakras could be closed in these areas. And if you've seen my social media video, if you haven't, at Jeans from BK, if your energy centers are closed off, energy cannot come in through that effectively because, again, of the blockages. So if it's blocked, your energy centers are going to be closed. You want energy centers, chakras that are open and spinning. As they're spinning, they're pulling in energy from source, light, and keeping you aligned. If your energy centers, your chakras, are closed off because of any of these emotional issues, physical issues. Again, it's all about alignment. Your energy is not balanced and aligned to be in a state of flow because of all of these imbalances, emotional imbalances that are going on. And by the way, we're talking about alignment because it's not just about getting your energy aligned. Okay, what now, Jen? What happens is when you are in an energetic alignment, that means you are in your highest vibration. And being in the highest vibration keeps you light. And I don't want to say floaty, but your energy feels less heavy. Good, fantastic, meant to be situations, people. So if you want to think of a physical sense of why I'm doing all this, Jen, outside of, clearing and healing, being in a high vibration is going to attract what's truly meant for you to come in. And it's not going to come in and be deceptive. It's not going to come in and, fall between your hands. And when you're in your highest vibration and aligned, everything that is meant for you in the most positive way. I'm getting chills because that's what God's source, the creator, wants for all of us. We are a piece of source himself, experiencing an existence. This is why love, self-love, all types of love, but love is the highest frequency. I've mentioned this before in this podcast. By being in this energy of self-love and not in an egotistical way, our minds are quickly to think self-love is all about me. No, don't think of it that way. Again, that is the parts of you that need to be healed. To self-love of having integrity for yourself, dignity for yourself, and standing in your true authentic self, but in a high vibrational way. Where it's not built on ego. So I say that because by you balancing out your energies, healing, clearing, listening to these tones, the point is to get you into that high vibrational state so that what comes into your life, what you attract, is exactly at that same pure, good, positive energy and not toxic or problematic. It doesn't have to be love if that's the first thing you think of. It could be a career situation, a platonic relationship, friendships, whatever that leads you to whatever it is you're trying to do or build, whatever comes to mind that you want. You will be in the frequency to attract your ultimate highest timeline, which is the timeline that you came down here for. You designed your life to be on the highest timeline. But again, free will, I'm not going to get into it because it's about healing. But y'all know I talk about this. People can veer away from it because of free will and manipulated environments and shit like that. But anyway, I digress. Point is to get you fully energetically aligned so you are in the highest frequency vibration to attract that positive experience back to you. Okay, we have 3 more chakras and I'm going to wrap this up. Next is the throat chakra. This is at 741 hertz. And it's exactly where it's at, your throat. Hope you're closing your eyes as I'm playing each tone. Please do, okay? So you can feel it. So that tone has to do with physical ailments. If you're having thyroid issues, if you're having teeth problems, if your jaw is tight or it hurts, if you're having neck issues, sore throat issues, clearly. But emotional imbalances in this area is you have a fear of speaking up for yourself. If you're shy or if you talk too much, yes. People like to overshare out here in these streets. You lie, you gossip. If there's creative blocks with communication, these are all emotional imbalances. I don't know why I'm becoming really drawn to the lying and the gossiping. There's obviously a lot of that going on. That will absolutely cause a blockage in your energy flow. Let me tell y'all something. It takes more energy to lie than it does to tell the truth and be in truth. Straight up. And gossiping in itself, clearly. So, this is what the throat chakra is associated with. That tone will help with that. And by the way, as you're listening to these tones, the parts of you maybe you don't let's talk about being overly talkative. Maybe you don't feel like you're overly talkative, but you don't know that. By just listening to these tones alone, maybe you're just listening to the tone because, you are having creative blocks, right? When it comes to talking. It could be if you're a public speaker, if you're on a podcast, whatever, right? You're on camera, whatever. If you don't even know if you're overly talkative, these tones are going to balance that out naturally on its own. So you're going to be good either way. All right. This is the third eye chakra. And you've heard of this, I'm sure, the phrase third eye. That's between your eyebrows. 857 hertz. When I was saying was helping with my headaches, this is what was helping with my headaches. And trust me, it does. It was helping that shit go away ASAP. When I was listening to the tone as I was doing the demonstration on my TikTok, it was helping so much with alleviating that pain. So, all right, this is the third eye chakra. You notice how high-pitched it is now? This is what I was referring to earlier. As you go up higher in the energy centers, similar to ascension, the tones are going to sound higher, and that's how it sounds too in the higher dimensions with vibrations. Very elevated, high frequency sounds. So that was the third eye chakra. And that has to do, again, the ailments, headaches, migraines. Absolutely helped me with my headache, like I said. If you're having sinus issues, 1000%. If you're having vision problems as well. Now, the emotional imbalances has to do with lack of focus or clarity, poor intuition, or if you have an overactive imagination, that happens too. People need to realize you have to come into balance with these things. If you have a disconnection to spiritual insight, and if you have a problem trusting inner guidance, trusting that intuition, that tone will help you open that and expand it. Okay? The final chakra, the crown chakra, 963 hertz. This is at the top of your head. This is what they also call the God frequency, quote unquote. Okay? That will assist with issues sleeping, if you're sensitive to sound or light, and it helps with neurological disorders as well. Now, the emotional imbalances it has to deal with is spiritual bypassing, which is a whole other topic in itself, y'all. I'll get into that. That's basically you just completely living in the light, and we forget that you are also living a human existence, and just sort of just chalk it up to the universe. Yeah, there's a thing called spiritual bypassing. Cynicism. It helps with arrogance. It helps with balancing if you feel like you're spiritually superior, spiritual egoists. Yes, that is another thing I'm going to get into. Spiritual egoists. My Lord. People who feel like they are above everyone else because they're tapped in, which you see that a lot in the spiritual world. Trust. If you're feeling lost or meaningless, and if you have a disconnection from spirit or your purpose in life. So those are all the tones, guys, in the chakras for your each energy center. I hope this helped you. Again, try listening to these tones on your own or the meditative music, but the tones will hit you directly, target, bullseye, in the areas that you're having issues with, whether it's physical or the emotional imbalances. So I hope this episode was enlightening. Thank you for coming to my spirit school. My bad. It took me a minute to get an episode out, but we're going to keep doing it. And I'm going to do my due diligence to at least get something out for y'all. You guys got my podcast to the top 15, number 13 out of the 100 on Good Pods. And I'm so grateful for that. So I want to continue to give you guys information and, drop some gems on y'all. So on that note, listen to these tones. Try it on your own. If you're interested in energy healing, something to look into. Remember, it's all about balancing your energy so you can be in the highest vibration you can be, so you can call in what's truly meant for you in the most positive way. And you do that because why? Everything begins from within. I'll catch you on the next episode. Love and light. Peace.